He followed my mom to the bank and he posted that, yes, so he's in GTbank and they are trying to sort out things and the bank actually complying with him. Next moment, I got a call from my mom. She was crying that policemen came and arrested my brother.
So our job is to enforce the law. There are provisions of the law, either in the criminal code, penal code, and even the cyber crime prohibition Act of 2015 or 2024 as amended.
Common thief. See, the problem we will get for years now, VDM I blame. I blame VDM for always wanting to tell Nigerians more than they deserve. Always wanting to carry people along. The same people who are here happy that he has been arrested. God go punish all of them when they happy to arrest VDM. What did happen? Kokopio, Momsi case for GTB and they go carry Momsi to they make we go bank. I say, okay, no, I'm gonna go. Next night the year, eyewitness confirm say VDM reached the CSO for the bank. GTB bank is an accomplice in this. It's a conspiracy. VDM tell us, okay, I want to go. The man say, wait, now don't worry, they'll attend people, wait. Before you know, they don't call police. Lock security door, that's not a thief. Black a van pulled up. Lock VDM and CPAC inside the door, security door. As soon as they come, they wear their masks close with their head. Let's say they won't kidnap them. Begin beat them. They beat them as an active. Beat them. What did they do? What did he do? Did you issue many arrest warrants before? Did you invite him that he did not come? You begin beat him. The common man that went to fight for his mother. All these things happen in front of the mother's presence. God. The moment they watch them, they beat him, begin go help and fight for your money. GTB Bank. So this is what you do to people who come to complain about their money they give to you to save GTB Bank. Ah, God. God. Okay, after beating him, when I can't lie, give people for this one of the DSS. So that we don't go know where we go find and go. You people want him to die from the inflicted pains. You people want him to die because your aim is to kill him there. Your aim is to kill him there. What do you plan to do? What do you plan to achieve? What do you plan to achieve? Tell me. EFCC, what do you plan to achieve? Okay, the fact that the boy is speak up for the people you people were oppressed illegally. The people who are in government who steal money, what do you people do to them? I'll wait for people to bring your official statement now. Let's hear the offense you put against the video. Let's hear. Because I hear someone goats, they talk say it's about NGO. Thunder fire anybody to say it's about NGO. This is not about NGO. This is about what VDM knows. This is about information VDM knows against the EFCC. No problem. One thing I can put my chest for is VDM rather die than join Una. Are you going to kill him now? I will tell Nigerians about the poison and the no problem. No wahala. I continue. It don't do that this weekend now. No wahala. We'll watch now. Nigerian youths, please pay attention. Pay attention to how they treat the person that cares about people. Pay attention. Stop fooling yourself.
Benue don't born to GTbank. If they hold you GTbank ATM card for Benue, if they hold you GTbank ATM card for Benue, policeman will arrest you because GTbank one band and we don't want GTbank again. We want make GTbank come out from our state. GTbank don't chop people money. As they arrest very dark man, they might go see very dark problem.
GTbank c'est les cadres, comme pas de moi. GTbank c'est les cadres, comme pas de moi. Comme quoi de moi. C'est quoi cadre dedans? Comment pas de mon GTB? Comment pas de mon olete jatito?
You cannot use EFCC as a tool to terrorize your citizens. So the impression you're trying to create to Nigerians now that if anybody talk, you carry them go inside and go touch them.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is no gainsaying the fact that Guarantee Trust Bank Limited has become notorious over the years for engaging in deceptive accounting practices to artificially inflate profit figures. For example, no substantial pieces of evidence was presented by Segun Agbaje to support the assertion that GTCO PLC made over 1 trillion naira in profit as at 30th June 2024. Even at that, it is very possible that the figures were generated through the process called round tripping. This is a process where funds are moved in and out of the bank through different accounts or entities to create an illusion that there are legitimate transactions going on in the bank. The combination of this process and other unethical issues, business practices, within the bank points towards the direction of systemic corruption, fraud, and money laundering, which we have asked the media, anti-corruption agencies, and the government to further investigate. It is feared that such ugly situation, if not properly checked, could have the tendency of not only undermining customers, investors' confidence in the bank, but pose significant risks to the stability of Nigerian financial sector. Surprisingly, Segun Julius Agbaje did not tell Nigerians that the corporate image of GTB Limited has been terribly battered and shattered in many foreign countries.
Talking about the arrest of Martin Vincent Ote, that is a social media commentator, popularly known as Very Dark Man. Of course, this is someone that I've actually advocated for freedom of speech. He talks more about oppression, the way people are being suppressed. That's never been a case of oppression that Very Dark Man did not head up. So he has actually contributed so much in making sure that people are allowed to, express themselves publicly. And it is a sin as a blogger, as a social media influencer, to not use this very opportunity to call for his release, because from what we have in the table, even though we are going to be looking at one or two things that is being reported to be the cause of his arrest, according to his lawyer and of course his brother. So it's important you coming out to say something about his arrest, because we consider it as of today illegal. Basically, the procedures he was actually arrested, because we believe, in as much as we live in a democratic country, as we call it, there's no need, or there shouldn't be any necessity for someone to be taken up like that without invitation, no matter the severity of the crime. In as much as it concerns civil issue, he should have been invited. So we'll be looking at for 5 basic things. First thing we'll be looking at is background of his arrest. Then the second is P2B's reaction, and of course he condemned it. And also we're going to be talking about the implication for the freedom of speech in Nigeria if this should not be discussed, because this calls for everyone to come out to talk about it. Then the fourth one is public sentiment and role of civil society as regards to matter like this. Then the fifth one is people calling out the GTB bank over some sort of other fraudulent issues and everything that that people have actually come out to complain. So these things are what we're going to be talking about. Talking about the background of the arrest, Martin Vincent Ote, known as Very Dark Man, is a social commentator and activist known for his controversial takes on social issues and alleged exposure of corruption in Nigeria. Of course, these are what he talks about. Most recent arrest on May 2nd, 2025 came after he publicly accused GTB Bank of fraudulent activity involving his mother's bank account. He was reportedly arrested outside the GT Bank branch and later detained by the EFCC, allegedly without a formal warrant of arrest or charge at the time. While his methods are often direct and provocative, many Nigerians see him as a whistleblower or a voice for the marginalized, voice of the voiceless. The number 2, the P2B's reaction over the arrest. Of course, P2B raised concern that such forceful and non-transparent method of arrest could blur the lines between lawful detentions and unlawful abductions, thereby undermining national security and accountability. He emphasized that if citizens begin to struggle to distinguish between a legitimate arrest and unlawful abduction, it could erode a vital layer of national security and accountability. This is coming from P2B. P2B also highlighted the potential negative impact on the nation's economy and business environment, noting that the backlash directed at the GT Bank, allegedly linked to the circumstances surrounding VDM's arrest, has had serious reputational consequences. Obi questioned why VDM was not invited in a civil, transparent, and legal manner, suggesting that such an approach would have spared the Nigerians, GT Bank, and the national image from unnecessary shame and losses. Was as a result of VDM's visitation to GT Bank to confirm, to rectify the mother's bank problems. Obi's remark underscores the importance of upholding the rule of law and ensuring that law enforcement agencies conduct their duties with transparency and respect for citizens' rights. This is very commendable. At least Obi seeing this and reacting to it as soon as possible. That speaks of leadership gesture. So number 3 thing is implication for freedom of speech. The arrest raises critical questions about the state of freedom of speech in Nigeria. First, selective enforcement. There is growing concern that critics of the government or powerful entities are selectively targeted, while similar behavior by others may go unpunished, and it has always been like this. Weaponization of defamation laws. Nigeria's laws on cybercrime and defamation are increasingly seen as tools used to silence dissent rather than protect reputations. Fear among activists and journalists. Arbitrary arrests discourage open discourse and embolden institutions to suppress uncomfortable truths. Of course, this is just the very tough disadvantage of this whole thing when it comes to implication for freedom of speech. Number 4, we talk about public sentiment and role of civil society. Public reactions have been mixed. Supporters of VDM see him as a hero and a necessary check on the establishment, while critics argue that he often oversteps into personal attacks. Regardless, many Nigerians agree that law enforcement should act within the bounds of justice, and that individuals, no matter how controversial, should be silenced unlawfully. So number 5 is a protest by Nigerians to boycott the GTbank. VDM's arrest reportedly facilitated by GTbank staff who allegedly locked Very Dark Man inside the bank's exit door to enable operative of the EFCC to apprehend him, has led to significant backlash. His lawyer DG Adeyinju condemned the bank's action and announced plans to take legal action against GTbank for the inhumane treatment of his clients. In response, many Nigerians have taken to social media to express their displeasure, while some cheering plans to withdraw their funds from GTbank and close their accounts. VDM's elder brother Mark Vincent Ote announced a symbolic protest involving coordinated withdrawals from GTbank, particularly targeting the Area 3 branch in Abuja. He called on VDM supporters, known as the Raters, to participate in this non-violent demonstration scheduled for Monday, May 2025. Diverse opinion on boycott. Not everyone supports this approach. GTbank's response. In the attempt to address the situation, GTbank released CCTV footage showing the moment leading to VDM's arrest. However, the bank has not issued a comprehensive statement detailing their involvement or clarifying the circumstances of the arrest. So, what I have to say about this is simple. Just like these things that are listed here, there is need to reform the entity called Nigeria in order to facilitate the need for people to dedicate themselves in speaking to power. And I feel the issue of Very Dark Man, it shouldn't be exempted to this. This is somebody that have come out boldly to address a lot of issues. We know that as a human, you don't do everything. You don't have all the correct things. Sometimes you do your wrong and everything. But then checking out the good things and the bad ones, I think he should be considered as an advocate of freedom of speech, and he shouldn't be a victim to this, especially when people that he has helped to gain their rights are still alive. So most of us, when we talk, let Nigeria not happen to you, let Nigeria not happen to you. If Nigeria happened to somebody that have actually advocated for the right of everyone, I think it's not right for you to keep quiet. That is a sign of discouragement to those that do always come out to preach against oppression and ill treatment. And this should be a call for everyone, all the bloggers, social media influencers, whichever way, whatever you call yourself, speak against this. This is not right at all. Just like P2B stated, if you have issue with the way or the manner of whatever, just like P2B stated, even though we don't know yet if the arrest was actually coming from GTbank or what, but whatever reason, this is a pure civil matter that should be treated with at least prior invitation. Let it be that he was invited and he didn't respond to the invitation. These are the things we look out for, and that's why Nigerians are seeing it the way it's seeing it. And of course, people made it very known that when situations like this happen, the Nigerian people will start to doubt if the security of any of them is guaranteed. And when the citizens start to look things that way, and when the citizens start to look things in that direction, it's more like the harm to the country. I mean, this alone, it has garnered a lot of traction all over the globe, and the image it's giving to the country is not a good one, because what Very Dark Man is known for is always about the freedom of speech and everything. And to linking it to the issue he has, the mom of Very Dark Man has to the GTbank. From my end, I don't think there's need for them to clarify anything. There is a link between Very Dark Man's arrest to that of GTbank, because the coincidence is something else. Even though they released the CCTV, trying to clarify that he was not arrested in the premises of the bank, but he was arrested the day he went to the bank, probably a place close to the bank. So there is a link between the whole thing. The whole event didn't just happen. So we call on the Nigerian authority to look out for this. We also call on the human rights organization. Of course, this is the things that have actually pushed for the creation of institution of human rights organizations. They should also come out to pledge for the release of this very young man. We have his videos all over the internet, so go and look out for what he stands as regards to the society. The same Very Dark Man that have projected a program of drilling borehole across the country, and these are the things we look out for. It's humanitarian activities that shouldn't be undermined. I mean, he should be, as a matter of fact, protected. That is what we even expect from the security agencies. My own very surprising, he was arrested, and that was totally unlawful. I don't know the condition that surround to the arrest at this time, but from what we've heard from the lawyers, it is obviously stated that it was unlawful. You understand? And whenever you see a spade, you call it a spade. The black is always black, and that is how we move forward for this country. So the best thing now is releasing. Those of you calling for his head, remember what he does on social media. I think you should do well to remember what Very Dark Man does on social media. Only the Very Dark Man that you will go to and you talk about all these power drunkard politicians, their activities every day. When you go to him, you talk about it, then everything, people will just start looking out for the way out. So the rise of Very Dark Man has been the fear of don't do this. Are you sure he's not within? So, and this is what we want. He's a good influence. He might be bad influence to some extent, to whatever extent, but majorly what he represents on social media, it's something that people should influence from. It's something that people should emulate from. You understand? People use because of Very Dark Man's presence on social media and deviate from all these online fraudulent activities and everything, especially when it has to do with scamming someone online. So these things should also be looked out for. What if Very Dark Man is being silenced today? What would the Nigerian people look like? Before Very Dark Man, we used to see that a lot of people come out to have a deal on social media or even offline. Still, they don't deliver. But with his presence, a lot of such issues have actually cleared, and it's been taken off. What he needs is even the encouragement to broaden up. VDM is an institution. I'm not one of the writers, but at least if not that, it's an institution, and that has actually remained. That's nothing you can tell me. VDM is an institution. So we call on the security agencies to do something about history. Like, it should be a facilitated one. This is a young man that have risked everything, virtually even his family. He has risked everything to making sure that his people, the Nigerian people, have the best of them all, and most importantly, freedom of speech have actually gained some sort of weight since the presence of this very young man on social media. So I stand with Very Dark Man.